Greetings YouTube, Ronin487 here, and today I wanted to talk about a card that's coming out in the next Challengers, but it's a Korean exclusive, meaning we don't know when it's going to come out for the TCG or if it'll ever come out, but for the time being, right now it's only going to come out in Korea, and we'll see if it ever does come out in the TCG. Now, its name is Outer God Azathoth. Blah, that's a mouthful. And it's based on, H.P. Lovecraft's novels, his work. If you ever heard of the name Cthulhu, if you ever heard of that monster, well, this card's artwork relates to that. And just look at it; it's pretty weird. Which was what H.P. Lovecraft was known for. All right, guys, enough of that. Let's get to the nitty-gritty here. It's a Dark Fiend Xyz, rank 5, 2400 attack, 0 defense. It requires 3 level 5 monsters. And its effect is, you can also Xyz summon this card by using an Outer God Xyz monster you control as Xyz material. Xyz materials attached to that monster also become Xyz materials on this card. Cannot be used for an Xyz summon. After this card was Xyz summoned, your opponent cannot activate monster effects for the rest of this turn. If this card has a fusion, synchro, and Xyz monster as Xyz materials, you can attach one Xyz material from this card, destroy all cards your opponent controls. Alright guys, so right off the bat you're thinking, 3 level 5 monsters is a lot, but thankfully you can use an Outer God monster. And if you're wondering what that is, right now currently there's only one Outer God Xyz monster. It's called Outer God Nyarla, and it's not here in the TCG. It's like, I forgot what set it comes out in, but I think it's like a extra pack or something like that. It's like some different kind of pack that only the OCG has. So right now it's all this whole archetype is OCG exclusive, so which kind of sucks. But hopefully we'll get it soon. And so yeah, so you can, it's kind of like Pallades, or I mean not Pallades, like it's kind of like M7, where you can just use a Constellar to Xyz. And so basically this is it. You can just use Outer God and Nyarla to bypass all that material stuff. So Xyz summon this. And you can't use this for an Xyz summon, which meaning you can't go into Gaia, and you can't go into another one of these. So that's kind of a bummer, but I understand why they did that. Alright, and then the next effect is, after this card is Xyz summoned, your opponent can activate monster effects for the rest of this turn. That's pretty good, meaning they don't get their graveyard effects. Meaning if you attack like into anything, recruiters, if you attack like into whatever, they don't, the hands don't go off. If you attack into like if you attack into Shadow monsters, they don't get their effects. No flip effects. They don't get their flip effects. They don't get their graveyard effects. They don't get anything. Your opponent can do whatever they want, but after this guy, summoned for the rest of the turn, they can't do anything monster effect wise, which is pretty awesome. Of course, granted, it sucks that it only lasts for the turn he was summoned, but hey, it's a nifty little effect to have. It doesn't hurt it overall, and this is pretty good. And then, so what what's freaking impossible, or nearly impossible, is if it has a fusion, a synchro monster, and an Xyz material monster as Xyz material. I mean, that is cool that you can attach a material and destroy all your cards your opponent has. But that's not really that much of a useful effect in today's meta. But other than that, I mean, it's gonna be pretty hard to summon this using that effect, doing it this way. I mean, what are you gonna do? Like what's the most common played level 5 with Armades or Catasters? So you're gonna have to have Armades out, and then you're gonna have to have a synchro. Excuse me. And then you have to have level 5 fusion. Where Winda is the most popular level 5 fusion right now. Or you can just use instant fusion for something else, and then you do that, and then you just Xyz until rank 5, and then you and find some way to bring this out. But yeah, I mean, that's I'm sorry guys, I think that's just hilarious. Trying to bring this out that way, it's freaking impossible. But yeah, I mean, if somehow, some way you do it, hats off to you. You did something that it's pretty hard. All right guys, that's it for now. Sorry, I'm just laughing. You wasting all these resources to, even if you find a convenient way to do this. I'm pretty sure in the OCG they could. It's the OCG, but you go through all these things to do that, and then they just bottomless this guy. And well, anyways, all right, guys, that's it for me. That's enough rambling out of my mouth. As always, guys, I'm Ronin487. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.